Okay, hello girls. Um, Today in class we talk about simple present questions. Okay, so we already know the structure to make a positive and negative statement. Remember that we need the pronoun, name, or subject. In the case of positive, we need the action conjugated in simple present. In the case of negative, we need don't or doesn't plus the action in base form and the complement. But to work with questions, uh, it says to write a question using the simple present form, we need this structure. First, we're going to put or to order the auxiliary, do or does. Then the pronoun or name or subject, then the action in base form plus the complement, and of course don't forget to use the question mark. In English we only use a question mark at the end. Okay, so we have an example. Did you do the homework in the afternoons? Do is the first do, this one, okay, is the auxiliary, okay, that we're using because we're talking about you. Okay, you are in plural. So do you, and the action here in this example is do. Okay, so you can use do for the auxiliary and also for the main action. So do you do the homework in the afternoons? And like that, it's a question with do. You answer yes or no. It's a short answer. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Another example. Do your friends eat hamburgers? We put do because friends is in plural. Okay. So do your friends eat hamburgers? Yes, they do, or no, they don't. Okay. For singular, does she travel in the summer? Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. Okay. Or does Alexa cook lasagna? Yes, she does. Or no, she doesn't. Okay. So remember that we need to work with the auxiliary do or does if you're working with any action that is not the verb to be. Okay. We need first the auxiliary do or does, then the pronoun, okay, or name, and then the action is going to be in base form. Okay. Here does has already an S because it's conjugated with the person in singular. That's why travel, we don't add an S to travel. O sea, si ya el auxiliar lleva una S, entonces ya el verbo no lo va a traer, porque o lo trae el auxiliar o lo trae el verbo. Y lo correcto es que la S lo traiga el auxiliar. Okay? Now, if we're going to work with the verb to be, remember that the verb to be has its own form to make a positive or negative question. Positive or negative statement. And también tiene su forma propia de hacer preguntas. Okay, so remember that the verb to be has its own form to do questions. You need to use am, is, or are to do the questions. Okay, depending on the pronoun or the name or the subject is the one that you're going to use. Are is for plural, is for singular, am is just for me, for myself. Okay, are you in love? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Is Claudia my best friend? Yes, she is. No, she isn't. Are my parents at home? Yes, they are. No, they aren't. Okay? Now, if you are going to use a WH word, remember that the WH goes first, like where, when, who, etc. And then the auxiliary, in this case, verb to be, am, is, or are, and then the pronoun or name, and then the complement. Where are you now? I am at school. When is your birthday? It's next Friday. Why is she sad? Because she failed the test. Who are they? They are my brothers. Okay? Now, if you are still working with any action that is not the verb to be, okay, we also can use the WH question word. like what, where, which, who, when, why, how many, how much, etc. Okay? What, qué, where, dónde, which, cuál, who, quién, when, cuándo, why, por qué, how, cómo, how many, cuántos o cuántas, how much, cuánto o cuánta. Remember the countable and uncountable, okay? Using the simple present form, we need to use this structure, okay? Remember, the WH question goes first. Who or why or how many, etc. goes first. And then the auxiliary do or does. And then the pronoun. So it's the same structure. It's the same structure as these ones. The only thing is that you're going to add a WH question. And the WH question goes first. So first is the WH question, then do or does. If it is necessary, we're going to use a WH question. If not, always the auxiliary is first. So WH question plus do or does, then the pronoun in plural or singular, okay? And then the action is going to be the same in base form, okay? Because the auxiliary is the one that is going to be conjugated, okay? For example here, when do you do the homework? Like it's an open question, the answer is not going to be yes I do, no I don't, because they are asking when do you do the homework. I do the homework in the afternoon, or I do the homework every day, or etc. Okay, and another one, what do your friends eat on weekends? They eat pizza and tacos, or they eat spaghetti, or I don't know what do they eat, etc. Okay, for singular, where does she live? Okay, remember that the auxiliary has an S because she is singular, okay? And remember that the principal action is not with an S, it's in base form. Remember that in negative and in questions, the principal action has to be in base form, okay? So where does she live? She lives in Monterrey. Why does Esteban work too much? Because he needs money, okay, etc. These are some examples, okay? The only thing that you have to remember is that the auxiliary goes first, and if you're going to use a WH question, goes before the auxiliary, and that the auxiliary is going to be conjugated according to the pronoun or name, okay? Well, if you have more questions or doubts, please let me know, okay?